No favors non-dike how Parker Schnabel school Kevin Beets in the harsh reality of gold rush business in the wild, unrelenting world of gold rush. There's no room for sentimentality, especially when your name is Parker Schnabel. Over the years, Parker has forged a reputation as one of the sharpest, most uncompromising operators in the Yukon. Focused like a laser on profit, Parker's business style could be summed up in 3 words: cold hard numbers. And recently that mindset was on full display when Kevin Beets, son of legendary miner Tony Beets, found himself in a bind and reached out to Parker for help. Kevin Beets is no stranger to mining. He practically grew up in the goldfields, shadowing his larger-than-life father Tony through countless seasons of gold rush. But this time, Kevin was striking out on his own, determined to prove that he could be more than just Tony Beets' son, running his own claim, leading his own crew. This was his chance to step out of the family shadow and into the role of independent mine boss. But the Klondike isn't the kind of place that makes things easy. Breakdown in the goldfields. Kevin's mining operation hit an early and critical snag. His old A40 rock truck, an essential piece of machinery, gave out in the middle of active mining. This wasn't just a hiccup. It was a full-blown crisis. The truck was over 20 years old, and without a working replacement, Kevin's entire season teetered on the brink of collapse. In a desperate move, Kevin turned to Parker Schnabel. Given the years their families have worked alongside and sometimes against each other, Kevin might have hoped for at least a modest favor. Instead, he got a reality check. The no-haggle hustle. Kevin showed up with $100,000 in hand, a decent chunk of change, but still far below the $300,000 needed for a brand new truck. Parker didn't flinch. Instead of offering a discount or even a newer model, he put up another ancient A40 rock truck, also 2 decades old, and slapped a $110,000 price tag on it. Kevin tried to negotiate. He asked Parker to come down to $95,000. Parker's response was cutting in cold. "I don't haggle, buy it or don't buy it. I don't really care." That was it. No special deals, no heart-to-heart, just hard business, a deal with strings in the end. Kevin had no choice. He accepted the deal, agreeing to pay the full $110,000. Parker's only concession: Kevin could defer the payment until later in the season. But make no mistake, this wasn't generosity. The clock was now ticking, and Kevin had locked himself into a no-excuses contract. Even if the truck failed, even if Kevin's operation went belly up, Parker would get his money. This moment was more than just a business deal. It was a brutal lesson in independence, risk, and the cutthroat nature of Yukon mining. Kevin might have walked away with a truck, but he also walked away with a heavy burden and a harsh initiation into the true cost of leadership. Kevin's crucible. Back at camp, Kevin's crew managed to get the truck running. Spirits lifted slightly when the engine roared to life, and Kevin took a moment to reflect on the significance of what had just happened. This shows I can make my own deals. I don't always have to rely on Tony. It was a proud, if cautious, declaration of independence. Kevin had put himself on a line, not just financially, but as a leader. The debt was now his. The success or failure of the season was now squarely on his shoulders. But make no mistake, the pressure was immense. Kevin didn't just need gold to turn a profit. He needed gold to pay off Parker and prove he was capable of surviving on his own. Every ounce mattered. Every breakdown, every delay, every bad decision could spell disaster. Parker's masterclass in business. While Kevin faced an uphill battle, Parker walked away from the deal having demonstrated exactly why he's one of the most feared and respected miners in the game. He offloaded old equipment at a premium price, secured payment with minimal risk, and maintained his no-nonsense reputation, all in one move. From a purely business perspective, Parker played it perfectly. He didn't let personal history or decision-making. He stayed focused on what mattered most, the bottom line, and that more than anything is what separates Parker from many others on Gold Rush. Where some might have hesitated to push a tough deal on a longtime family Associate Parker didn't blink that cold efficiency, while controversial to viewers, is exactly what's made him successful beyond the gold for fans of Gold Rush. This showdown between Kevin and Parker wasn't just entertaining drama, it was symbolic. Kevin's struggle reflects the very essence of what the show is about: survival, ambition, and the relentless pressure of the gold fields. Parker's actions, while arguably cold-hearted, reminded viewers that in mining, friendship often takes a backseat to financial survival. Kevin, on the other hand, is stepping into the next phase of his mining career. While the deal may have seemed lopsided, it gave him something arguably more valuable than a working truck: a real-world crash course in negotiation, leadership, and the risks of entrepreneurship. Whether Kevin succeeds or fails this season is still up in the air, but one thing is certain: he's no longer just Tony Beets' kid. He's now a man who's learning what it really means to own and operate a gold mine. Conclusion: the Yukon doesn't do favors. At the end of the day, Parker Schnabel didn't break any rules, he didn't trick or manipulate anyone, he just did what he's always done: make cold, calculated moves to keep his empire growing. Kevin Beets, meanwhile, took a gamble, one that might cost him dearly or shape him into the independent boss he wants to be. Either way, the goldfields have once again proven that they don't care about names, legacies, or friendships. They care about results, and in this round, Parker Schnabel walked away with a win, and Kevin walked away with a less.